Hello again, this is Heero Uzuki with more of the Escapists 2, the game in which you too can have your escape attempt assisted by an internet celebrity, like Jacksepticeye, and all you need to do is get sent to the exact same prison as that internet celebrity? Okay, I do recognize that's a bit of a tall ask, considering that internet celebrities don't exactly get thrown in prison on the regular. And in the case of Jackie, if you were to ask for my opinion, I'd say he got thrown into that Russian gulag because he was caught doing extreme acts of good cheer and humor. That, or the Russians just don't like the Irish, in which case, don't be like that, please. Don't be racist. You cannot be my friend if you're racist, okay? Okay. And having said that, give me more Jacksepticeye, damn it! So, here we are in Area 17. You're probably wondering how exactly I got myself thrown into a secure government facility. Well, let's just say that maybe I kind of put on an alien mask as part of a prank, and the military happened to be nearby, and they saw this prank, and maybe thought I was an actual alien, and so here we are. I dare not take that mask off at this point because I'm pretty sure it's the only thing keeping me alive. That being the case, we shall keep the mask on and work to get the hell out of here because I do not want to find out how long they're willing to keep me alive before they, put me under the knife. These accommodations are most crude, human. Okay, so this being our first breakout attempt in Area 17, we should probably just go with the good old perimeter breach. That work, we're gonna need a plastic red key, a shovel, a cutter, and a contraband bag. Well, that contraband bag might be a little less required. It's just nice to have. Nothing, human. Do not interrogate me at this time. Excuse me while I peruse the human educational materials. You humans may be crude creatures, but your material fascinates me. Nota, human. I too have places I must be. to see the need to ingest this so-called tea of the humans. But perhaps this Oat character knows something I do not. I must report for roll call, lest the orderlies become testy. It is most strange what my fellow aliens require of me. Most strange indeed. I do believe I'd sense a disturbance in the force. Degrading how the humans have us run around like lab specimens. Might I procure one contraband pouch from you? This is a little hard to keep up with. Soldatos is most interesting, human, and also quite rude. Subject warrants further study.
Your need for these crude human appliances that produce sound is most intriguing. Mostly because we couldn't get a hold of the toothpaste, the talcum powder, and the lighter I needed. What I need is a lighter. I don't know what I was thinking. We found the talcum powder and the toothpaste we need. Hell, we got our putty. Never mind. I got too much on my mind. I'm trying to do too many things at once. We've got what we need for a key. We've got a weapon. We just need to isolate a guard. Would be very nice to get a hold of a red key. Maybe even a cyan key. Being paid to violently assault you. The Earth custom of bludgeoning others with a blunt instrument is truly fascinating. And dare I say, quite humorous. You may have this back, human. And now I must isolate myself within the confines of this humanoid-shaped box. Okay, breaking from the whole alien speak. Now that we've got this, we can see about maybe getting some bleach. Just a little something to help us with our escape. Of course, now we need some more molten plastic and another wad of pipe. Then we gotta find a guard that has a red key. claims to see everything, and yet he fails to see who, and more importantly, why. The trash receptacle in my room is overflowing. Truly, this is most concerning. The human is not as omniscient as he likes himself thinks. We've got our sturdy cutter, we got a contraband bag. We have a cyan key that we didn't find a ton of police like I was hoping for. Indulge in placing your dead rat into that desk. Oh, so good. Need this talcum powder back. You just need some toothpaste. Shall receive, as the humans would say. Do not accost me, human. It's possible we might have to make the run without this type of bleach. Shocking, I know. But it's the truth, we might actually have to make the run out of here without a change in clothing. It just means we'll have to be a little bit more careful getting out of here. Unless you're holding out on me.
human, for clearing the receptacle. I shall not have you deatomized later, when my kind comes to take over. It's very hard to find the right key. To a 3-day escape. You may have this back, human. I no longer require attempt this without a bed dummy. I mean, not really, but I also don't want to be here any longer than necessary.
this isn't the intended purpose, but... Bye! Sorry, no, not an actual alien. Though I will say this, I did contact the mothership. Told them to come get you. Bye! Have fun with the probing. Nowhere. I was never there to begin with. I was just a figment of your imagination. And with that, we have made our escape and I can finally ditch the alien mask. Boy, was that joke a terrible idea. Just learn from my mistakes and don't do it. But anyway, with that, we're gonna go ahead and stop here while the stopping's good. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, then consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, leaving a comment, and hitting that bell to stay updated with more videos from me. With that, this is Heero Uzuki signing off, and if you're going to do any alien-related jokes, make sure that the military isn't around when you do it. Learn from my mistakes, okay? Okay. Jesus Christ.